Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Yahweh is the true name of the Heavenly Father. Ba'ashem means in the name. Yahushai is whom the world ignorantly and stubbornly calls Jesus. And Rakakwadash means Holy Spirit in the Hebrew language. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well through the scriptures. Peace to the hopeful elect. All right, I'm just going to play a couple videos and read an article. And as you see, it says MAGA, Make America Great Again. That's what it stands for. Catholic kids defend wearing blackface on Fox. It's just showing school spirit, all right? It says video, YouTube, etc. You can see a teacher or coach of Covington Catholic leading the teens in the chant. Several of the Covington students are in blackface. At this game, black players on the opposing team were verbally abused.
Sam, there have been so many stories in the hours after the initial viral Twitter, which put that out there. In fact, I saw, I think it was a Daily Mail story. Somebody had, yesterday, somebody had gone out, looked at all the video from your school, and something like 5 years ago, there was a pep rally.
Now, see, and as he's speaking, the so-called white man, which the Bible calls Esau, that is a fake attempt at being arbitrary, all right? That is a fake attempt of him being fair. But in actuality, what he's doing, he's still manipulating the narrative. He's still manipulating how we see this incident. Because I got the Daily Mail article, all right? And he trying to make light of something like, you know, they went through all of your, you know, videos and like what a video 5 years ago? No. When I read the article, this has been an ongoing thing for 10 years straight. Not no one. This didn't happen once 5 years ago.
Where one of the members of the school body had appeared to have blackface on. People have even asked you to explain that. How do you explain that?
I just explained it as showing our school spirit.
Wow. How do you explain that?
I just explained it as showing our school spirit.
But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides.
We have many themes like nerd, business, white out, blue out, black out.
Salaki, I'm sorry about that. But I was trying to pause it to say that they said they had many themes, right? Black out, white out, blue out. But in that article that I'll pull up later, they never dressed up in all white. They never painted themselves in all blue in their school spirit. All right. They only did that with the black. All right. Totally. And this is not some incident where it's just some harmless kids being totally insensitive and it was, you know, just done out of ignorance. All right. They know what they were doing.
I just explained it as showing our school spirit.
Wow. How do you explain that?
I just explained it as showing our school spirit.
But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides.
We have many themes like nerd, business, white out.
You didn't dress all white for white out. You didn't dress all blue for blue out.
Ever since I've gone to Cov Cath, we haven't been able to wear black paint because of the video, but I know the kids meant nothing by it. It's just showing school spirit.
And that was one of the days, the so-called blackout days.
And he wasn't lying when he said that was showing school spirit, because the spirit that's in the so-called white man is to hate the Israelite. And that's in the Bible. And history affirms that fact and everything. All right, this is Habakkuk chapter 2, In verse 4, behold, his soul or his spirit, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. So, Napash, his soul, self, his life, his being, all right, who he is not upright. To be right, to be straight, to be level, to be right, to be just, to be lawful. All right, the so-called white man, he just does not have a upright spirit. And regardless of how he manipulates what you see on TV, how he likes to liken himself the hero, he's the bad guy. He's the reason why he's endangering wildlife. He's destroying the habitation of wildlife. He's the reason people are seeing animals in the back in places where they're not supposed to be seen. All right. He's the reason why there's so much plastic floating in the ocean. All right. You got whales and different sorts of animals beaching themselves, killing themselves because the ocean is too toxic to live in. Okay. Perpetual. This is Ezekiel 35:5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. So the so-called white man had a perpetual hatred against the Israelites. All right, perpetual, Ilam, long duration, antiquity, futurity, forever. So throughout all the ages of history, all right, when it was the Romans expelling the Jews, all right, out of Rome, and then it was the Greeks, all right, persecuting the Jews, all right, or whether it was when you read about our people ruled the Dark Ages, when our people ruled, all right, Europe, and how the so-called white man subverted and ousted us out of there, okay, or when they put us in slavery. All right, when slavery was over, during segregation, they always hated us. All right. Now I'm gonna read this article. I'm gonna jump around in it. All right, this is the Daily Mail that the newscaster he referenced. He said he saw some in Daily Mail. All right, picture Kentucky students from the same Catholic high school as the teens who taunted a Native American man were allowed to don blackface at their sports events and openly goaded African American players. Now, look at these pictures. All right, look at this picture, man. That picture looked very hateful. All right, that's not just not. I mean, you go to basketball games and opposing teams and things get hectic. All right, regional, sectional, and all that. You don't act like this towards the opposing members, man. All right, and on that picture in the video I showed, if you pay close attention, all the faces, all the so-called faces that was looking at this young so-called black man was very aggressive and evil looking. Mean-spirited. It says Covington Catholic High School in Paris Hills, Kentucky allows students over the last 10 years to wear blackface to pep rallies. Now, I know, like the newscaster said, something, about 5 years ago, I think for the last 10 years it's been going on. All right. In one shocking image, they look at in one shocking image. Look how they worded this. They openly goad a black player from an opposing team. All right. Now I'm gonna play some videos for some so-called Negroes who are on the who defending those students and are against their own people, because at the Washington Monument there was a protest, or there was something going on, and you had Hebrew Israelites there. All right. Preaching, against the so-called white man. All right. And then you had a Native American there. And instead of having something to say against all of them, they basically they held the so-called white students and spoke against their own people. But here it is, those so-called white people, white students, are against your people. And not only that, I'm gonna jump down. They actually got condemned by the look. As you see these pictures, look at this picture. Look at those faces. That's not the spirit of competition. All right, that's the spirit of extreme dislike, because that's what hatred means. An extreme dislike or distaste for someone. All right. And I'm going to jump down to where they even got condemned by their own. Let me see. Salakia real quick. My phone acting up. It says while the students painted their bodies with blue and white paint at a Braveheart event, there were no photographs of anyone with their bodies painted blue at the Blue Out event. So they know blue and white represented Braveheart, because in the movie Braveheart there was a scene, you know, Mel Gibson, that he looked blue and white, and everyone knows blackface represents a racist image that so-called white people don to mark our people. All right, now this is what the school had to say about them. All right, the school quickly criticized the students for their behavior in a joint statement with the Diocese of Covington, saying, so this is the school and the Catholic administrators. So while these so-called Negroes, and I'm gonna play a video of them next, while they hailing the so-called white students and cursing out their own people, even the hierarchy of the school and the Catholics criticized those students, saying, we condemn the actions of the Covenant Catholic High School students towards Nathan Phillips specifically, and Native Americans in general. We extend our deepest apologies to Mr. Phillips. Now I'm gonna play this video with these two short, quick videos, then I'll get some scriptures.
Always showing up in their groups trying to kick some shit off when nothing had to be kicked off at all. Now you got the doggone Native American dude.
Look how he said that. Now you got the Native American dude.
That he's been on CNN like 3 different times, 3 different situations. So I'm like, oh, you a CNN plant, right? Going in the middle of that, no white kids out there on a field trip doing what they do. And he walks to them. They didn't surround him.
Now, and I'll say this, you know, and it's been brought out that so-called Native American is a CNN plat, and he is an agent, and he is an agent provocateur, and he is on the payroll of the so-called white man. But nevertheless, this was their land first. He can do whatever the hell he want to do on his land. Any Native American. They didn't surround him. He walked towards them. So fucking what? He can be this was the land of the Native Americans. You don't like it, you leave. They walk. They should be able to walk wherever they want to walk freely. You move out the way.
Y'all some Hebrew Israelites. Boy, I tell you, bro, boy, you know what? Them kids wasn't bothering y'all or nothing. Y'all talking about, you know, look at these crackers and all that. You know, y'all some black supremacist bastards. I wear this hat. Do I look like a white supremacist? Huh?
Yeah, you're a white supremacist. That hat says "Make America Great Again." What made America so great? Slavery. You got free labor, and with the labor, you got our intelligence, because you had a lot of slaves that made inventions that they prospered off of and everything. So yeah, as soon as the so-called white man couldn't benefit off the backs of those he had in slavery, the decline of America began. So that's when America was great. All right, when we was at a lower state, because we still in captivity, but when that captivity was harsher. So yes. All right, so these some scriptures I got. This is Deuteronomy 25:1. It says, if there be a controversy between men and they come unto judgment, and there's a controversy between the so-called white man, who the Bible calls Esau, all right, and the Israelites, who are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, that the judges may judge them, then shall they justify the righteous and condemn the wicked, all right. So the Israelites are the righteous, and the so-called white man is the wicked. Just because we standing up and we speaking against the atrocities he committed, you people make that seem as though we're wicked. Now we wicked because we ain't took over nobody's land. We ain't trying to commit genocide against nobody. All right, but we wicked. Exodus 23:7. It says, keep thee far from a false matter, and the innocent and righteous slay thou not, for I will not justify the wicked. All right. And this is a false matter. The false matter is they manipulating the situation to make it seem like we provoked the incident. All right. Like we're starting something, like these kids harmless. They didn't do anything. All right. So even though you're not doing it physically, you're only doing it with words. But you people are slaying the righteous and justifying the wicked. Proverbs 17:15. He that justified the wicked and he that condemneth the just, even they both are an abomination to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So you people are an abomination. All right. Ta'ibah. The wa'ibah, a disgusting thing. You people are disgusting, man. All right. In ethical sense, wickedness. So when it comes to ethics, being ethical, you people wrong. Something disgusting morally. All right. This is Job 21:31. It says, who shall declare his way to his face? That's what we doing. We declaring what he did to his face. Like, you got to answer for that. You had us in slavery. Okay. You still got us in slavery, but you got us contractual slaves. All right. Paperwork slaves. All right. All the worst products are in our community. You come to so-called Negro, Latino, Native American community. You got malt liquor. You got the worst of the worst when it comes to fast food or grocery stores. All right, you hardly got anything organic in the grocery store. Everything in plastic. Go to the so-called white community. The same thing you drink in plastic bottles, they got in glass bottles. All right, they got all different types of wine in the grocery store. The grocery store, they got different types of wine and liquor as if it was and I'm talking about nice. Good alcohol, but you're gonna find 211 and St. Ives and that's what you're gonna find in so-called Negro, Latino, Native American neighborhood. It says, and who shall repay him for what he have done? So he ain't never been paid for what he did to us, man. All right. Isaiah 32:5 says, the vile person shall be no more called liberal. All right, let's look up. Vile person. Foolish, senseless, nabal, fool. The so-called white man, the fool. All right. Job 9:24 says, the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. Here it is. He got control of the whole earth and he destroying it, man. He destroying it. Like I mentioned earlier. Animals going extinct, the air defiled. You got chemtrails in the air. You got plastic in the ocean, toxins in the ocean, oil spills. All right. GMO, the produce can't grow. Agriculture is dying. Everything is GMO. All right. He feeding cows candy bars and corn, and they stomach can't process the corn. They was meant to eat grass. So he got a system where he manipulates their stomach within, because they'll die in 6 months if he from the feed he give them. So he fattens them up within that within a year. 6 months they eat grass, then other 6 months they eat that feed, and right before they die he slaughter them and make profit. All right, and he slaughtered them in such a barbaric manner that it taints the meat, and then you eat that, man. So that's the vile person shall no more be called liberal, inclined, willing, noble, princely, noble in mind, character. So he's not the good guy. All right. He's been trying to manipulate the world by using his propaganda that, oh, I'm just trying to help and save people with democracy. They're a dictator. They're destroying their people. We got to go and do something. No. You destroying your people over here. Americans are far behind when it comes to education, far behind when it comes to health. A lot of the food that America make is banned in foreign countries. All right. It says, nor the churl said to be bountiful, but the wicked of our people, the 2/3 of our people, will continue to call the vile person liberal. They will continue to call the churl what? Scoundrel, knave, churl, withholding niggardly, because the so-called white man got all this money, these elite banking families, all right, the Rothschilds and et cetera, all those families. They say they got enough money to end world poverty many times over. All right. So nor the churl said to be bountiful, independent, noble, free, Shawai in the Hebrew. So with that, Lord willing, this was the edifying lesson to the hopeful elect. Once again, I want to give all praises to Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who rule well through the scriptures, Salakia. And the honorable mention to you brothers out there that's prophesying in sincerity and in truth in the hopes of being saved. Shalom.